a trend. This is not a social media trend. This is not something you see like, oh, I want to post this. This is not a black and white issue. This is a human rights issue. We cannot stop here. We have to keep pushing forward and keep fighting. Because my brothers and sisters are fearing every day of their lives because of the color of their skin. We fear walking out our doors. We fear driving in our cars. We have a fear every day just because the color of our skin. And I want to get out to you guys. These killings aren't just happening on the streets. They're killing us in education. I go to North Carolina A&T. My first black teacher was in college. Why was my first black teacher in college? I went through middle school, I went through elementary school, I went through high school. No one looked like me. We need a representation that looks like me, people that look like me, to help and encourage and educate these kids every day. Because there's some things that I learned in college. Why did I learn that in college? Why did I not learn that when I was 15? Why did I not learn that when I was 16? We need a push. We need to push our towns to emphasize and implement these educations in our school systems, because they keep saying it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. But when is this going to happen? Because we need this to happen right now, and right now is the time for this to happen. So I encourage you guys to keep the conversation going after today. Educate your friends, educate your peers, because someone might not know, and that's okay, because I learned something every day. And social media is the new textbook. That's how I learn my information. So just get out there, use your resources, network, and I just encourage people, do not stop. Please don't stop after today, because there needs to be change, and change has to happen now.
Hi everyone, my name is Brianna Johnson. I am a resident from Scotch Plains, and I just want to say thank you for this opportunity. And piggyback on what my sister said, I really think it's really important, especially now everything going on. We need to continue this, but continue this in schools. Because for me, growing up, all I learned about what Black history and African American history was either between Black History Month or within the Civil Rights Movement in that period. That's it. I didn't really realize my personal African American history until I went to college, until I took a racial injustice class. So that's a problem right there. I feel like, you know, we take months talking about the Holocaust, the Boston Tea Party, but we only spend what, a month, couple weeks talking about African American history. That needs to stop right there. That's no. There should be no reason how I know so much more about the Holocaust growing up, and I knew very little about my own history growing up. That's a problem. So I just want to say honestly, and also too with little kids, a few weeks ago I spoke to a 5th grade class, and just the questions that they had honestly was like out of this world. A lot of these kids felt scared. They're 9 and 10 years old. They feel scared. That's a problem growing up in a predominantly white town. We need to change that narrative. They can't be growing up in these public schools, Catholic schools, whatever, feeling scared every time they walk outside. So we really need to change that narrative. So I really encourage everyone here to start the conversation home in their families. That's where it starts, in your family. That's where honestly racism comes from, is within the family. It's taught within their own family, own household. So please, after you guys leave today, start the conversation. You have to start the conversation in your class, in your home. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Jenna. I go to Kent Place School. I'm a senior, and I'm so proud to be standing here with you today. Especially at a people's protest, which is entirely what this movement is about.
This is a Black Lives Matter protest in Summit, New Jersey.
This movement is rooted
young lady
in
here,
all of
high
us.
school
This
student,
is a demand
is
for change and a call to action that is grounded in the people, specifically young people. The other day, I was listening to an older woman speak, and she said, what you kids don't recognize is that some things in this world just aren't going to change. I think none of us here believe that. The power of our generation lies in the fact that we recognize that what's been handed down to us cannot continue. The unacceptable ways Black bodies are piling up in the street because our skin is viewed as less than, as a weapon, as undeserving of respect. And we have the idealism and the determination to say not on our watch. We have to remember that in our hands we hold an enormous amount of power. We just have to use it. This is a clear matter of life and death, because every single time an officer kills an innocent black person, another one seeks permission to do the same. And the only way to stop these officers killing and to encourage regulation is to put people in office who are going to demand justice. That's your responsibility. That's what you have to do. We have to vote. And even though we're a generation that's incredibly vocal, people don't expect us to vote. Here's what they think is gonna happen. They kill an innocent black man, woman, person. We take to the streets, we're angry, and then we go home. We don't show up where it really matters, the polls. We can't let that be our narrative. We have to keep showing up. We have to remember that it's not always the clear-cut bad guys who do the most harm. Complacency is the greatest threat to our progress. We cannot get comfortable. And look at where we are today, exactly a month after George Floyd was killed, after news vans have gone away and people say social media has gone back to normal. We are still here, and we have to keep our foot on the gas. We cannot let up. For the first time ever, it's mainstream to say Black Lives Matter, and that is the bare minimum. We did that, but we have to keep fighting. Now, I'm not worried about our generation showing up. If we can ruin an entire Trump rally using TikTok, we can fill out a ballot. So I need you guys to use your voices, to remember to register to vote, to stay informed so that someday soon we're not the ones banging on the doors demanding for the laws to change. We're the ones opening the doors, creating those laws. So July 7th, I need all of you to go vote July 7th. Thank you.
I'm Raina, I'm 13 and I go to Kent Place Middle School. Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams die, life is a broken-winged bird that cannot fly. Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams go, life is a barren field frozen with snow. This is a poem that I learned when I was about 5. It talks about dreams, how important they are, and what it's like not having them. I believe we all know how impactful a dream can be. And there's one dream in particular that we all know. That's why we're here today. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, sons of former slaves and sons of former slave owners can sit together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day, even in the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream that my 4 little children will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today. Decades have gone by, and we are still working towards this dream. This is a dream for our future, for our nation's future, for our world's future. We are working not just for ourselves, or MLK, or Malcolm X, or George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, Elijah McClain, Emmett Till, and so many more. We are fighting for justice. We are fighting so that one day we can teach our children about how we are treated and it can all be history. We are fighting so that we can live in a future where little children don't have to walk the streets with targets on their backs and knees on their necks. We are fighting for the future. And as long as we continue to believe in these dreams and we continue to take action, I believe that our future is bright because we are the instruments of change.